Hello everybody, how's your headspace? Welcome to episode 12, Purpose, What's Yours? I want to start by asking you a few questions. What is your life's purpose? Where are you going? Where have you been before? And are you currently carrying out your life's work? I find at times a lot of us are a little lost. We lose ourselves amongst the peaks and troughs of life's demands. Instead of doing what would truly make us happy, we get distracted, get complacent, or do what is necessary to stay afloat and keep our heads above water when most around us are drowning in a sea of debt, disaster and fear. We work our fingers to the bone in a job we often don't like, for people we can't even stand. All for a 2-week holiday in the summer that we can barely afford so that we can take pictures to impress people who don't really care. That is not living. It is certainly not living with purpose, I can tell you that. We have all seen what can happen to a person with no purpose. For example, look at the brilliant footballer Paul Gascoigne, or Gazza as he is better known. After his career in football was over, he found himself with nothing to do, no purpose. He has been hospitalised due to drink and substances a few times now. You know what they say, the devil makes work for idle hands. I have a friend in their mid-80s who worked right up until they were 80 years of age. It was only because of the well-known outbreak in 2020 that he got made redundant, otherwise he would probably still be working. When I asked him why he was still working, he said, "Matt, most of my friends retired at 65. They sat in their armchairs watching daytime TV, and 6 months later they passed away. They simply gave up on life. They no longer had a purpose." This got me thinking, when you're young, early 20s let's say, you're hungry, energetic, you're fun, with plans to conquer the world. You're the Jack the lad, the man about town. You've got purpose. As you navigate your way through life, it's a bit like running a gauntlet. You pick up a few scars, a few dented panels, and a few split pipes, and all of a sudden, you find yourself clinging onto the sides just to live. The sharks start circulating around you, and you have to throw them your true life's purpose to feed on, and in return, they will swim away and leave you alone, and allow you some breathing space. How many of us have found ourselves in a similar situation? This reminds me of quite a sad story regarding some artwork called Can't Help Myself, created by Chinese artists Sun Yun and Peng Yu. They created and programmed a hydraulic robot arm inside a glass room. The arm would entertain the crowd by doing happy dances. It was designed to leak red hydraulic fluid, so between dances it would scrape the leaked out fluid back into a reservoir underneath to sustain its life and carry on. As the years passed, the parts got worn out. More and more hydraulic fluid started to leak out of the robot, meaning it no longer had any time to entertain the crowd with happy dances. It had to scrape the fluid back in to sustain itself. In 2019, it eventually ground to a halt as it had run out of fluid. Never have I been so moved by a piece of art. What a masterpiece. Is this what they mean by life imitates art? So what can we take away from this? We really need to turn inwards and ask ourselves, what is my purpose? What is my true life's work? If you do not know what your life's purpose is, it is simply that you have not unlocked it yet. Think of it a bit like a video game. The way to unlock the knowledge of your purpose is to start by mastering yourself. Along the journey, you will get clues as to what your true purpose is. It will become easier and easier to piece everything together and form a plan of action. Why is life like this? Well, you have to be the best version of yourself. To have the capability to thoroughly pursue your purpose, you cannot have one without the other. No one is born without a purpose. Continue to evolve until you find it. It is also worth remembering that when a lion chases a deer, many times the deer wins and gets away, because the lion runs for food and the deer runs for life. Purpose is more important than need. I will leave you with this very thought-provoking quote. There are two very important days in your life. the day you were born and the day you realise why you were born. Don't forget to ask your nearest and dearest, how's your headspace?